Hi guys, I'm Truth Rachandran and I'm going to walk you through my everyday skincare routine and my foolproof night out look. First thing is cleanser, of course. Let me just wet my face quickly. I use this cleanser. I'm usually really rough on my skin, and so my makeup and hairstylist on Bridgerton, they kept telling me, be gentle, so that's what I'm trying to focus on at the moment. But I don't want my skin kind of relying too much on products. The simpler a routine is, the more likely you are to follow it. Next up, we have toner. I'm just using a little bit. I probably, like growing up, didn't take care of my skin as well as I should have. But now that I'm a little bit older, I'm trying to make it a priority. And I'm really starting to see that when I take care of my skin, my makeup is just so much better. Next up, we've got eye patches. These are magic. These were introduced to me again by my makeup artist on Bridgerton. We'd have to get up at like 4 a.m, makeup chair by 4:35, and you know, they'd be really long hours. So we needed all the help we could get. My family's from India, and generally the skincare that we use back home is all natural, and it'll be like the same product for many purposes, and that's kind of my main beauty secret. I love a good multi-purpose tool. I really like to add a lip balm. Just peel them off gently. Next step, moisturizer. I just use a really basic one. I mean, it works for me. I'm often really lazy when it comes to like self-care, but the one thing that I do love and I swear by is face gem. It's like a workout for your face, and honestly, I was such a skeptic before I actually went, and it makes such a difference. Finally, got eye cream. This one is just super soothing on my skin. The skin under my eyes is very sensitive and often really dry. There's one final thing that I always do, and there's no shame in the game, and that's tweeze any eyebrow hairs that I need to get rid of, any mustache hairs that I have. Generally, when it comes to my eyebrows, I'm very protective over them. I would prefer to do them myself than to go anywhere else. And I was lucky enough that when I went to India one summer, my aunt organized for me to learn how to do threading. Threading is the best way to get your eyebrows done. It just gives you the sharpest, finest lines. My skin is prepped. I'm ready to move on to the makeup part, my favorite part of the night. This is the primer that I use. It just makes sure things don't budge. I've sort of learned how to do makeup through trial and error. Often when I would watch sort of tutorials, I would follow them to a T and it wouldn't work on my face because my face shape is different. Really spend time trying to figure out what works for you, because there isn't like a one-shoe-fits-all kind of situation. This is my foundation. I love it because it's firstly so compact and it's super buildable. I will just put it around the lower half of my face, which is slightly darker, which is very, very normal if you have dark skin. And then I just use this beauty blender. I remember when my mum was looking for foundation, there were only kind of like 2 brands that were suitable for her. When I go to the shops to try to get makeup, there are so many options. I don't take that for granted because it wasn't always the case. I am so grateful to my mum, because the one thing that she always emphasized to me growing up with makeup, because she loves makeup too, is makeup isn't about hiding things that you don't like about your skin or your face. It's about enhancing what you already have. I just use this little brow flick to fill in any gaps I might have. When it comes to beauty, I'm really lucky to have the influence of 2 very different cultures, both my Indian one and the one I've grown up with, which is British. And it's been really fun to be able to like combine them both and figure out what works for me. For one thing, because I have Indian family, even when the thin eyebrows were in trend, my family would never let me overthread or overpluck them. God, I'm desperate to have those kind of feathery brows, but alas, it's not the life I was meant to lead. I think this is the sort of most transformative part of the routine, which is color correcting. It essentially cancels out the darkness. And I definitely learned this trick from my mum. Yeah, she's a color correcting queen. Recently, I did a photo shoot where I didn't have a lick of makeup on, and you know, going into it, I was so nervous and scared, but like when I saw the photos and I saw how kind of cool my under eye circles looked, I did have a newfound love for them. The reason I love makeup so much is kind of the same reason I love cooking so much. It just feels like such a low risk, high productivity endeavor. I'm just using this Stila blush. Being on Bridgerton has been such a privilege. I never ever saw myself in a period drama. And then Bridgerton came out and I was like, oh my God, maybe I can be. So the fact that it's happened is like a dream come true. Playing Edwina Sharma was a real challenge because I guess she's so different from me. It's been really eye-opening and humbling to be able to play a character like that. I grew such a appreciation and love for her that I'm so protective. If anyone were to speak poorly of Edwina Sharma, it would be like speaking poorly of me. I would go into Mama Bear mode. This contour has me in a chokehold. This shade, it just so good. I literally use this every single day. I just sort of try to follow my cheekbones. A lot of this industry is not within your control, and that's something, especially when you're a control freak like me, it's a hard lesson to learn. So I just try to focus on the things that are within my control, like training and reading and learning from your peers and making sure that your mental health is in a good space and that you're ready for whatever comes next. We're gonna do highlighter. I use this Dior Quad. It's so good. It works on so many different skin tones and it's so versatile. I can use it as blush, as highlight, as eyeshadow. And I literally just grab my brush and just go through all of them and then pop it on. After sort of 2 years of being locked down, a really exciting development is that we kind of have events again and red carpets again. And my philosophy when it comes to styling and makeup is the priority and the emphasis is definitely on having fun, being bold, taking risks. I try to think of my style as a combination of Tracee Ellis Ross's fun colors and patterns with a more sort of Audrey Hepburn-esque shape and fitting and structure. Time to move on to the eyes. That contour that I'm obsessed with, we use it as an eyeshadow too. It is such a subtle color that I just like putting it all over my lid. Try to also kind of give it a more feline-y shape, just take it out. This Marc Jacobs palette. This is my favorite palette of all time. We're gonna add a little bit of glitter. This is all about the eyeliner, so we don't wanna make it too sparkly, but just something to I use this Illamasqua Quad, and then I place it. I'm just taking that highlight palette again, and I'm just grabbing this sort of goldy shade, giving myself a little bit of a bright corner again, very, very, very subtle, and just blending it out. I've gotten some great advice from the season 1 cast, like Johnny Bailey, our lead in season 2, and Phoebe, lead in season 1. And they've kind of said, make sure that you have all of your security measures, comfort blankets in place. And one of the things that I've done, and I'm actually really proud of myself for doing, is I've started therapy. In an ideal world, everyone should have access to therapy. It's a part of self-care. For me now, it's like going to the gym. I am gonna take that trusty contour again and just buff it under my eye as well. I love this look because there is so much room to kind of mess up. It's very low stress. Next, we move on to the pièce de résistance, which is the eyeliner. This is an Urban Decay brown eyeliner pencil. It blends really easily. This is the Indian screaming out of me. I'm an eyeliner girl. Eyeliner is my #1 product. Let's go on to the black eyeliner. This is the Dior Kohl pencil, and I love this one because it's specifically meant to be kind of smudged out. So the first thing I do is line my waterline. I'm just smudging it out with the other end of this pencil. You could stop here, but I'm not going to, because why not? I use the Bobbi Brown black gel eyeliner. This is my favorite tool. It's a Chanel eyeliner angled brush. Now that we have done the eyes, I'm gonna conceal again. Holy grail, staple, the first ever concealer I owned, and to this day, my main concealer. I don't like it to be super bright under my eye, just a little bit brighter than my skin tone. I love this by Terry Powder. Finally, curling my lashes. Mascara is actually my least favorite step, mainly because it is such a hassle to take off, but I'm gonna do it for you anyway. This is a mascara that I learned about through TikTok. This is a MAC lip pencil. So on a night out, I generally wouldn't have any products in my bag other than lip products. My priority is to have a lip that even if it rubs off, it still looks pretty cool, pretty chic. So I use this Glossier lipstick first. This will be your base. So even if the top lipstick comes off, you still have this underneath. And then you put on the color that you're going to try to maintain. And that will be this Dior lipstick. It is such a good nude. Finally, I really love this product because it is so subtle. This is the e.l.f. Matte Magic Mist and Set. This is the final look. Thank you so much for following along. Thank you for having me Vogue.